Okay, so right off the top, we start with breaking news on Capitol Hill. The Senate Homeland Security Committee voted to hold the man who led our nation's COVID response in contempt of Congress. This after Dr. Anthony Fauci's appearance before the committee last week, where Fauci invoked his Fifth Amendment rights in response to every question asked of him, citing what he calls Senator Rand Paul's unhinged obsession and desire to put Fauci behind bars. So here's the moment senators voted.
The question is on reporting of an original resolution regarding contempt of Congress. The clerk will call the roll.
Senator Johnson.
Yes.
Senator Langford.
Aye.
Senator Scott.
Yes.
Senator Hawley.
Aye.
Senator Moreno.
On behalf of the millions of people harmed by Anthony Fauci, resoundingly yes.
On this vote, the yeas are 8, the nays are 5, and the motion is agreed to.
Committee Chair Paul says he plans to now send the matter to the Justice Department before a full Senate vote. Reporters asked the senator about that very question. Take a listen.
Can you explain to us why you decided to not have this referral get a full Senate committee vote? It's breaking precedent here, and are you comfortable with that new precedent?
Well, actually, no decision has been made. The only decision that's been made so far is to bring it to the committee, and it's passed. The next decision we have decided is we will forward it. It's the committee's verdict that he should be held in contempt and it will be sent. But no one said that we won't bring it before the Senate. We'll see what happens over time. But this is outside of the ordinary bill-making process. So it doesn't have to go to the House, doesn't have to be signed by the President, and really doesn't have to go before the Senate. There is some precedent for doing it that way, and it still may be done that way. But for now, we will hand carry this over to the Attorney General.
This contempt motion is very unlikely ever to be pursued by the Department of Justice, and it is almost certainly never going to be approved by a court because it violates basic constitutional rights. It is a disgrace to the Constitution to hold somebody in contempt simply for properly exercising a constitutional right, namely the right against self-incrimination.
So let's talk about this. Live now to CBS News congressional reporter Torian Small on Capitol Hill. Torian, what happens next? It looks like Senator Blumenthal feels like this won't go much further than today's news.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Senator Rand Paul made it clear that the next steps for them were to hand deliver this to the DOJ so they could then decide what's most appropriate. But really what this is at their recommendation, which was a partisan line vote, they want to see Anthony Fauci held accountable or responsible for being so evasive during that Senate committee hearing, even though he did comply technically to lawmakers' subpoena for testimony. He was also well within his rights, at least what Democrats are saying, to invoke that Fifth Amendment call and not directly answering. This is what a few lawmakers had to say today about that.
Have you been in touch with the DOJ, and do you have any expectation that they will actually take up this referral?
I don't know the answer. That's a great question for them. We will hand deliver it today to the Attorney General, and we will hand deliver it today to the District of Columbia, to the U.S. Attorney there. And from there, we'll find out. But this way, we don't sit a month waiting to determine whether or not we bring it to the Senate floor. What we will do is it'll immediately be referred over. I think it's important for them to look at, and then that'll be their choice whether to look at it.
And listen, at the heart of this, according to Dr. Fauci's attorneys, is this fact that he feels like he's being unfairly targeted by this Republican administration and Republican Senate. He says that he had advised him to invoke that Fifth Amendment because we've already received indication that there are a few state attorneys looking to investigate Fauci as well. And while President Biden on his way out did give a blanket immunity to Fauci for his time in office between 2014 to 2025, that doesn't necessarily avoid any offenses that any state attorneys, any state level charges that could potentially come his way.
Okay, so let's talk about this. The committee also says they have Dr. Fauci's phone records. How could that impact this case?
Yeah, Senator Ron Johnson saying that he got a hold of that and now he's looking to really comb through it. I think practically what they're using that for, at least according to Senator Johnson, is to see if this could answer any questions that Fauci refused to answer during that testimony. Politically, though, this is another opportunity for Republicans to prove or show or illustrate how uncredible Fauci is, not just as a witness, but also as a way to scrutinize his time as the head of COVID-19 response under the Biden administration. That coupled with the thousands of pages that the committee received from HHS last week that they're calling the Fauci diaries, I think is what they're using to really describe or paint a narrative of how that administration and then previous administration has handled this response.
All right, Torian Small on Capitol Hill, thank you so much.